When it comes to great characters in the Dragon Ball Z franchise, one of the key characters that many, including myself, think of is Teen Gohan during the Cell Saga. But too many of us are forgetting how much of a beast Gohan during the Namek Arc was. In that arc, from his actual battles, his character development, and actively pushing the story forward, he was excellent. And I'd definitely say this is PEAK Gohan from an overall shonen character standpoint, as he's no longer the super timid character he once was in the Saiyan arc. He's about the action now. He's more fearless, he's jumping into fights, he's putting his own life on the line for strangers, which is something that he couldn't do prior. Like, he couldn't even save his family friends on Earth, but on Namek, he's out here saving random green people that he doesn't even know who they are. So this is definitely prime character development right here, as Gohan was basically the main hero throughout most of the Namek arc with Krillin as his sidekick. They was out there sweeping the floor with some of Frieza's henchmen, and they were even getting into fights with characters they definitely had no business getting involved with. They jumped Midoriya, they also went up against the Ginyu Force, and even though this ended up with your boy Gohan's neck being broken by Raccoon, it was still awesome to see Gohan go all out and go out like a complete G. Like, I was in complete shock when Raccoon kicked him in the neck and broke it. But that was the great thing about that part of the arc. Gohan was going all out, even against people he had no chance of beating, purely because it was the right thing to do. Like, the level of character development from how timid he was during the Saiyan Saga to what he is during Namek. Like, for example, to the surprise of us, the fans, and even Vegeta, he even got the upper hand on second form Frieza for a second, and even threw hands with final form Frieza. But I have to say, technically this part of it was filler, but it was still cool to see in the anime, if I'm being completely honest. But the filler section aside, even when it was all well and done with Frieza and he was defeated, he even ran to attack Vegeta for bad-mouthing his dad, which I thought was really good, that he was about the action no matter what. Even though he did lose to Vegeta pretty badly, I like the fact that the fight was still within Gohan and he was ready. Like, at a moment's notice, he was ready to clash, and I definitely, without a doubt, believe he was the MVP of this arc. Like, Goku came through at the end and obviously light work with Frieza, but Gohan definitely from beginning to end, he was putting in effort. Also, outside of actually fighting, he wasn't super naive like typically Goku is in most of the sagas, because he was even the first one to realize that Ginyu stole his dad's body from the jump. Like, he automatically knew, like, nah, this ain't my pop, something's acting up. And I thought that was really, really cool, because Krillin didn't believe it, even when Ginyu hit him. So it's one of those things where Gohan, he was definitely on point. I definitely think he doesn't ever really surpass this, even in the Cell arc, because if you think about everything I've just spoke about right now, if you compare that now to Gohan during the Android Cell arc, where he's more of a passive character for most of it, basically all the way up until Perfect Cell, Gohan's just there being pushed along with no real focus. But even when Perfect Cell appears and Gohan has to step into it, even though I will admit, Gohan building up into that super dope, epic Super Saiyan 2 first transformation is definitely one of the most memorable moments for Gohan in the entire world of Dragon Ball. It's probably one of the most memorable, period. So I don't want to seem like I'm overlooking this moment, because trust me, it is epic. We all know that. We haven't even got a debate. But if we take away our Super Saiyan 2 goggles, we have to sit back and really look at Gohan throughout that whole saga. He wasn't performing anywhere near as good as he was on Namek. Like, Cell Saga Gohan had to be pushed into fighting Cell. Even though I do love this part of the series, as I've said, let's be real, Gohan's transformation hype was very short-lived. Like, in the moment, it was really good. But as the series progressed, because he got caught leading to Goku's death, which sort of stole the show, as many people thought that may be the actual end of Goku in the series for good. And then Toriyama makes a decision to kind of kill the prestige of Teen Gohan with the introduction of the Great Saiyaman, which many fans disliked. So I don't think we even have to debate this form of Gohan, because we all know that this form is not it. The only form of Gohan I think could really surpass the Namek Gohan era, if I'm being honest, would have been the Gohan from the Future Trunks timeline, because from the snippets that we saw, he was putting in that work. Like, he was going hand to hand with both androids at once, single-handedly defending the Earth, as he was their last hope. And if he was able to even 1v1 one of the androids in his timeline, he would have succeeded. But obviously they always teamed up on him every time he got the upper hand. And let's not forget, this is the Gohan that trained future Trunks to become one of the coolest characters to ever grace the Dragon Ball series. So you gotta give props where props is due. So when we compare this version of the adult Gohan to the main timelines version, which would be Ultimate Gohan, he's just nowhere near as impactful, let's be honest. Even compared to his younger self, he's just nowhere near as cool or, in my opinion, memorable. Even though he gets this incredible power boost during the Buu saga, this kind of showed to me that PEAK Gohan doesn't have to be the strongest. He just needs to be an active character in the story and keep putting in that work. Just look at how they do Gohan in Dragon Ball Super. He's a mess. An absolute mess. Like, he is a waste of space. In Resurrection F, they had him looking like a complete chump. So, even though they have tried to redeem him, I have to ask the question, and many of you probably think the same, is how many times can we see Gohan be so timid or become complacent in times of peace, then out of nowhere, he needs some special moment to unlock his extra hidden potential? That same trick got old real quick. Forget the random out of the blue power boost. Get his ass in the gym with Goku and Vegeta and actually train and progressively get better. I don't want to see him go off with Piccolo for like 2 days and become just as strong as everybody else. I want to see him actively throughout the story be shown putting in some work. So when you really step back and think about all the versions of Gohan I've just spoke about, let's be real, which one of them put in the most active effort in the story, grafted the most, put in the most work, and really just captivated you every time they were shown on screen or on panel? Because I've got to say, even though I do think the Cell Saga is a great arc, and I could talk about that in another video, and Gohan in it is extremely powerful and memorable in it, but Gohan has definitely delivered better character moments in the Namek Frieza arc. I think he was incredible. But anyways, hit the video with a like if you enjoyed the video, and let me know what your thoughts are on Kid Gohan.